Have you ever wondered how words in a sentence are structured in a way that makes communication possible? Or why changing the order of words in a sentence can sometimes change its meaning entirely? The answer lies in the study of syntax. Before we dive deeper into the syntax, it's important to first understand what syntax actually is. Syntax is the branch of linguistics focused on understanding how words are organized to form sentences that convey clear and accurate meaning. For example, in the sentence, the cat sleeps, syntax dictates that the subject, the cat, comes before the verb sleeps. So the meaning is clear. Without proper syntax, sentence can become confusing.
Word classes are part of speech categorized word by their function in sentence. Let's look at the 8 major classes and their roles in sentence structure. Nouns, verbs, adjective, adverbs, pronouns, preposition, conjunction, interjection. For instance, in the dog is barking, dog is a noun and barking is a verb. And she sings beautifully. Beautifully is an adverb modifying sings. These examples show how words are classified by their function.
Traditional grammars classifies words into various categories or parts of speech based on their functions and words within a sentence. These categories, such as nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs, help learning understand how each word contributes to the overall meaning and structure of a sentence. This system not only clarifies sentence structure but also enhances language comprehension and usage skill for learnings. For example, is she is running. She is a pronoun. Is a verb, and running is a verb in the continuous tense. They are dancing. They is a pronoun. Are is a verb, and dancing is a verb in the continuous tense.
Okay, the next material is about transitive and intransitive verbs. Verbs can be classified as transitive that requiring an object or intransitive not even requiring an object. For example of transitive verb like she eats an apple, the verb eat require an object, so eat is transitive verb. The example of intransitive verb like she sleeps, the verb sleeps doesn't require an object, so sleep is intransitive verb because sleep can stand alone. Okay, for Reza Setiawan, time is yours.
Okay, so in the syntax context, the constituents are the group of words that plays a function as the single unit within a sentence. We often offering them as the phrases, such as the verb phrases, noun phrases, or even the propositional phrases. It is important to us to get know what is the constituents are because it is help us to get the structure of the sentence, or we could determine the sentence is correct or not. Okay, let's look at the example of sentence. The sentence says, "My sister buys a book." There are two different kinds of constituent here that we could find in this sentence. The first one is, my sister, the noun phrases, act as the subject. And then the verb phrases, buys a book. This indicate the subject action, but there's actually one more constituent that we could find. A book is the noun phrases indicate the verb's object, while my and a here acts as the determiner.
Okay, the next materials is about noun phrase and verb phrase. The basic structure of most sentences consists of two main parts, a noun phrase and a verb phrase. The noun phrase is the subject which tells us who or what a sentence is about. The verb phrase is the action or what the subject is doing. These two parts make a full sentences. For example, like the cat sleeps. The cat is a noun phrase and the sleep is the verb phrase, showing what the cat is doing. Okay, well, the next materials is about sentence formula. A sentence can be explained using simple formulas to show where the subject, verb, and object are placed. The most common formula is as VO, which means subject, verb, and object. The subject is who, what does the action. The verb is the action, and the object is what the action is done to. For example, like she kicks the ball. She is the subject, kick is the verb, and pulled is the object.
Okay, linear order refers as a sequence or the rows of words that place in a sentence. Subject is an opening for the sentence, the verb, the state or an action, and then the object, the receiver of an action.
The next one is agreement in syntax. Agreement refers to the need for consistency between sentence elements such as number, singular or plural, and gender. For example, like the boy runs, it's correct because the subject is singular and the verb is plural. But if you use the boy run, it is incorrect because they don't resemble to the number and gender agreement. Okay, next will be delivered by Ataya Farhana.
Sentence can be nested, meaning one sentence can be embedded inside another, allowing for complex sentence structure. For example, she said that the book is on the table. Here, the book is on the table. Is nested inside the longer sentence she said.
Relational grammar is a rule-based system that explains sentence structure. Heavily influenced by Latin and Greek, it categorizes words like nouns and verbs and insists on correct forms. However, this of course assumes English works like Latin, which it doesn't. For example, English has simple word forms that also require a lot of memorization even for native speakers and ignore language change over time, making it feel outdated. Modern grammar teaching is different. It focuses on how people actually speak and write, making it more relatable and practical.
Okay, the next material is modern approach to grammar teaching. Modern grammar teaching views language as dynamic and evolving. It encourages self-discovery, where learners explore how language functions rather than simply memorizing rules. For example, instead of just teaching, a sentence must start with a capital letter. Modern approach might ask students to observe examples and explain why certain patterns exist in language use.
In summary, teaching syntax and grammar together helps students understand how words and phrases create meaningful sentences. Syntax provides the structure and grammar gives the framework for correct language use. This combined approach strengthens students' language skills, allowing them to communicate clearly and accurately. Thank you for your attention.